Extra, extra, read all about it. The Do-Nothing Democrat Party not invited to America's birthday party because they hate freedom, eagles, and apple pie. They hate America. Extra, extra.
What's that, little boy?
The name's MAGA Boy, but last time I graduated from college and became MAGA Man. Or Chad, who are you?
Are you serious?
About making America great again. Are you Joe Biden?
No.
Big Bird?
No.
Jake Tapper?
My name's Pete Smith. I narrated the What a Phony newsreels in the 1930s, one of the very first examples of satiric news. We've met like a dozen times. I'm the guy who tries to combat your Fox News brainwashing and then gives up and jumps off the roof of an old folks' home, which is, in fact, how Pete Smith did die. Very tragic.
Oh, right. How are you still alive?
As Blake Champagne would say, the magic of theater. You know, MAGA Boy, that's not how you wear a mask.
I refuse to live in fear. You're not wearing a mask.
Well, technically, I died like 90 years ago.
See, the Kung flu is just like the regular flu, only less dangerous. And this is all just a liberal hoax to keep Trump from making America great.
That's not true. And the term Kung flu
is awesome. I know.
Racist. It's very racist.
Which is what makes it awesome. How come you still don't get we love Trump because he's racist, not despite it? I thought you liberals were supposed to be smart.
Fair enough, MAGA Boy.
Man, MAGA man. I'm a big boy, go pee-pee in the potty, standing up tall like a big boy, but sometimes make a little splash, and mommy made me wipe it up. Big boy.
Okay, you're a big boy. Very big boy. Very big boy.
Look, mister. Are you going to buy this paper or not? I've got to get to the inner city neighborhood and break some windows and light some fireworks.
What?
What?
Why are you breaking?
Stop destroying private property. This country was built on private property.
You just said you were destroying private property.
It's different when I do it.
How?
I'm white.
How does that matter?
USA! 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 USA!
Hey, MAGA man.
Yes, Chuck Schumer.
You know that today is actually America's birthday.
Don't try to liberal brainwash me. I won't be indoctrinated. Indoctrination is for libertarians. America's birthday is July 4th.
Sure. That's when we celebrate Independence Day, but independence was actually declared on July 2nd.
Shut up. That's just a liberal conspiracy to keep Trump from getting reelected.
That doesn't even make sense. Look, while the Declaration is dated July 4th, officially the Continental Congress declared its freedom from Great Britain on July 2nd, when it voted to approve Richard Henry Lee's resolution declaring, and I quote, that these united colonies are. This is my dog barking in the background. She's begging for hot dogs. That's not part of the resolution, MAGA Boy. That these united colonies are, and of right ought to be free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved.
That's liberal hooey. First, Great Britain isn't a state. It's a country, you moron. Everyone knows that. And second, everyone also knows that Donald Trump Jr. wrote the Declaration of Independence on July 4th. Hashtag triggering the Brits. Hashtag maybe now daddy will love me. Hashtag no colony, no homo.
Donald Trump Jr. did not write the Declaration of Independence.
According to who? The Amazon Washington Post? Your liberal arts brainwashing academy? I know the truth. Who would know better about trying to break free from an abusive father than Don Jr.? Hashtag freedom over fear. Hashtag the Declaration of Junior Pendants. Hashtag masks are gay.
The Declaration of Independence, not written by Don Jr., was first read to the public on July 8, 1776 by Colonel John Nixon of Philadelphia, who read a printed version
Written by Don Jr.
Not written by Don Jr., to the public for the very first time in what is now called Independence Square.
Philly, go Birds!
The Declaration wasn't even signed until August 2nd.
Signed by Don Jr. and Ivanka. Eric drew a smiley face. Hashtag smiles for freedom. Hashtag Tiffany wasn't invited.
Stop with the hashtags.
Hashtag Pete Smith sucks.
No, I don't. Hashtag.
Hashtag why don't you jump off the roof of an old folks home?
I will, but first I'm trying to educate you.
Trying is for the weak. Doing is for the strong. Hashtag Trump 2020. Hashtag keep America great. Hashtag learning is dumb.
After they voted on the 2nd to declare independence, the Congress set about editing the draft of declaration that had been written by the committee of 5: John Adams, Roger Sherman, Robert Livingston, Benjamin Franklin, and Thomas Jefferson.
Committee of 1, you left out Don Jr. Jared might have been there. Nobody knows for sure. It's one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries.
I don't think any of that's true.
Well, that's your opinion.
No, it's a fact that the Trumps were not present for the creation or signing of the Declaration of Independence.
Like I said, that's your opinion.
Not an opinion, MAGA man. There's a difference between informed information and your batshit talking points.
That's your opinion.
Okay, look, it took them 2 days to agree on all the edits, so they officially approved the Declaration of Independence, not written by Don Jr., on July 4th, 2 days after declaring independence.
Again, that is your opinion.
Not my opinion.
That's your opinion. Don Jr. gave us our freedom and asserted our rights to shoot endangered wild animals on the taxpayer's dime. That's history.
That's not history. That's not
Look, you're very boring. Stop erasing history.
I just told you about history.
You told us your opinion. What you're really doing is erasing Trump and Don Jr.'s contributions, and maybe Jared's. Stop tearing down monuments.
Does every show have to be filled with your white supremacist nonsense?
Well, you wrote it.
Fair enough.
It's like Ben Shapiro says, the movie Get Out is racist against white people.
Oh, shut the whole fuck up.
And I'm not the one making George Soros run a globalist conspiracy to undermine America's real values.
Dear God, please stop with your conspiracy wackadoodles. Here's an actual fact. July 2nd is also the anniversary of the assassination of President James Garfield in 1881. He died from the gunshot wound 79 days later on my birthday, September 19th.
In your opinion.
How is that an opinion?
Everything I don't agree with is just somebody else's opinion. Next, you're going to give me your opinion that the Confederacy was about preserving slavery and celebrating white supremacy when all we know it's about heritage and love and other stuff.
The Confederacy's vice president, Alexander Stephens, said in his cornerstone speech on March 21st, 1861, the Constitution, quote, rested upon the equality of races. This was an error. Our new government is founded upon exactly the opposite idea. Its foundations are laid, its cornerstone rests upon the great truth that the Negro is not equal to the white man, that slavery subordination to the superior race is his natural and normal condition. This, our new government, is the first in the history of the world based upon this great physical, philosophical, and moral truth.
That's your opinion. The Civil War was about states' rights.
States' right to what?
Own slaves. What are you, some kind of moron?
Yes, no, yes. Oh, MAGA boy. The Civil War is about slavery.
Look, that's your opinion.
It's not an opinion. Stop it. That's historical fact. Slavery was mentioned 80 times in the Articles of Secession.
In your opinion.
Not an opinion.
It is, but thank you. Hashtag blessed.
What do you mean blessed?
In your opinion, hashtag the 4th of Junior Lie.
What do you say we watch a satiric news show to combat some of that disinformation you're spreading?
Great idea. I'm sure that's going to make a huge difference. Hashtag, that's what she said. Hashtag huge.
What?
Hashtag Junior King. I'm bored. Look, at this point, if you're still voting for Trump, what else is there left to say?
I don't know. Look, I bet this is going to go really well. Change a lot of minds. Let's see what happens, huh? Great.
All right.
Is that my opinion too, McAvoy?
It's your opinion. Just get the show started.
Welcome to the Hooray News half-hour report. Independence Day special with Matt Foden and Joey Young.
Hey, you know what's a lot of fun is doing the show while my dog is barking at me the entire time. Welcome. There's Hank, everybody. You might remember him from such classes as Yeah, Bitches.
Yeah, bitches.
Welcome. All right, news, half-hour report. Independence special. I'm Matt Fodas.
And I'm Joey Loves Hot Dogs. Let's get to the headlines.
Black Lives Matter protests have continued throughout the country, though media coverage has slowed.
Weird. I wonder why the media stopped covering the peaceful protests.
Yeah, it's very weird how the peaceful protests so many angry white people were demanding are now not being covered.
I guess we'll never solve that mystery.
Whatever could it be?
The cops who killed Breonna Taylor are still free.
Meanwhile, conservatives across the country continue to be flummoxed by the concept of defund the police.
Conservatives think it means complete and utter lawlessness, a Wild West mixed with Mad Max.
While white liberals continually offer helpful suggestions for renaming the initiative. Maybe a better name would be reallocate law enforcement to achieve Dr. King's dream.
While libertarians think it's all just a plot to steal their guns.
USA, USA. In this week's edition of How Is This Scandal Not Ending His Presidency, President Trump apparently has been aware for over a year that Russia has been putting bounties on American soldiers in Afghanistan.
Treating it much like his coronavirus response, Trump has done nothing, calling both the virus and the Russian bounties hoaxes.
That's right. Trump has done absolutely nothing to protect our soldiers abroad or us at home, other than to say that neither is real. So much winning, so much treason, so much incompetence, so much failure, so many unnecessary deaths.
The administration has said that neither Trump nor Vice President Mike Pence was made aware of the bounties.
That, of course, was a lie, with the Associated Press reporting the administration knew in early 2019 when John Bolton met with Trump specifically to talk about the Russian bounties, while the New York Times confirms that the bounty information was included in a presidential daily briefing in February. Though, to be fair, Trump was briefed in writing, and he's only semi-literate.
Once again, the administration's defense of its incompetence is the administration's massive incompetence.
Her excuse for Trump not knowing and not doing anything about Russia paying to have U.S. soldiers killed is that the people around him are too stupid to tell the president.
And or the people around him know the president is too stupid and or compromised, so they purposely didn't tell him.
And or everyone in the administration is stupid, and knowing the president is stupid and can't read, and knowing that if he did know, he wouldn't do anything about it, and that would make him look bad, because of treason. They put it in writing so he wouldn't see it, but that would still give them the chance to say that they told him about it.
Meanwhile, U.S. soldiers are being hunted for money. Don't worry, though. Trump is protecting soldiers. Trump has issued an executive order to protect Confederate monuments, threatening any vandals with up to 10 years in prison.
For the record, Trump has done more to protect dead Confederate soldiers than active U.S. soldiers.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it does. On Tuesday, the administration held a press conference to announce, and I shit you not, quote, "The president does read." Imagine having to say that about any other president, any other adult. Now imagine knowing it's 100% not true. I mean, that's something your mom tells your second grade teacher.
Little Joey has been reading them books, drinking his water. He does read. Go Birds.
Go Birds. Sek Kaylee continued her North Korean adulation, saying, quote, "This president is the most informed person on planet Earth." Yep. Mr. Stare into an eclipse, windmills cause cancer, didn't know professional wrestling was fake, is the most informed person on planet Earth.
The most informed person on planet Earth misidentified a statue in the Oval Office during an interview with Fox on Sunday, attempting to explain how statues teach us history. Trump referred to the Bronco Buster statue in his office, saying it was Theodore Roosevelt, even though the statue depicts an anonymous cowboy and is clearly not Theodore Roosevelt.
The most informed person on planet Earth. In this case, statues really did teach us something about our history. Trump's a fucking moron.
Trump is not only the most informed person on planet Earth, he has also been notoriously weak with Russia and pretty much every other country with an authoritarian ruler. It's almost like electing a narcissist moron whose only qualifications were failure and racism was a bad idea.
To be fair, he's also a raging misogynist. Carl Bernstein released an article this week, and I'm just going to read the lead to you. Quote, in hundreds of highly classified phone calls with foreign heads of state, President Donald Trump was so consistently unprepared for discussion of serious issues, so often outplayed in his conversation with powerful leaders like Russian President Vladimir Putin and Turkish President Erdogan, and so abusive to leaders of America's principal allies that the calls helped convince some senior U.S. officials, including his former secretaries of state and defense, 2 national security advisors, and his longest-serving chief of staff, that the president himself posed a danger to the national security of the United States.
We're in good hands.
All
state.
That worked out well. Senate Republicans have been pretty much silent, other than to strip a provision from an intelligence bill requiring campaigns to report foreign election help.
To be clear, Republicans want to make it as hard as possible for you to vote and as easy as possible for Russia and whoever else to interfere in our election.
USA, USA, USA. To be fair, Marco Rubio loves America more than you.
Speaking of loving America, Trump's first official response to the Russian bounty scandal was retweeting a video of some old rich white guy in a golf cart yelling white power.
On brand. The media, of course, took the bait and immediately switched stories, going from covering Trump's complete disregard for the safety of our troops to equivocating if he knew that the guy who yelled white power, in fact, yelled white power. Spoiler, he knew.
It's possible Trump thought the man was referring to his golf cart, which is white and motorized. So he probably meant his golf cart, which is affectionately named White Power.
Yeah, that must have been it.
Yeah.
Trump's racist. How do you not know that yet? His whole brand is white power. He's the birtherism guy, the Mexican are rapist guy, the Central Park 5 guy,
the Muslim ban guy, the blacks live in a hellhole guy, the very fine people on both sides guy, the go back to your country guy,
the red hat, white hood guy, the come to my white power rally in Tulsa on Juneteenth guy, the my dad taught me not to rent to blacks guy.
That judge can't be impartial because he's Mexican guy, the Chinese virus guy, the Kung Flu guy,
the MAGA loves the black guy, the vote for me because I'm a white supremacist guy, the guy who yesterday threatened to veto a defense bill if an amendment to rename military bases named after Confederate leaders was not removed guy.
The guy who also yesterday called a proposed New York City Black Lives Matter mural a symbol of hate. The My Re-Election campaign released an America First logo with a Nazi symbol guy. That racist motherfucker.
Goodness sake. How does the media still not get this?
To be fair, white people don't like being called racist.
Oh, sorry, my apologies. In that case, Trump's using charged language. He's speaking his mind. And Trump supporters just have economic anxiety.
He does have his silent majority.
Silent? Who's fucking silent? All they do is whine and bitch about shit. How many of them are throwing hissy fits about wearing a mask in public? Throwing all the groceries out of their carts. Those 2 nuts in St. Louis who are like pointing guns at everybody. I mean, they stormed the Michigan Capitol and shut it down with their assault rifles, yelling and screaming about getting haircuts. Silent? They never shut the fuck up.
Stop trying to steal my liberty. Going to TGI Fridays is my God-given right as an American. And I don't have to just go on Fridays like some communist. I can go on any day of the week as I damn well please. USA, USA, USA.
We get it. We get it. You love America.
If I want endless soup, salad, and breadsticks, you better believe I'm taking my unmasked freedom over fear ass to Olive Garden to load up on that shit, order an appetizer, and then walk the fuck out, get in my car, and drive as fast as I can to get home before I shit myself. You can't take that right away from me. It's called the First Amendment, or as we call it in my house, freedom over fear.
I don't think that's what the First Amendment says.
Well, in fact, I had Olive Garden before the show tonight.
Oh, no.
I actually just got home like 30 seconds before the show started. Not quite enough time to go to...
Joey?
Hang on.
Did you just shit your pants?
What answer do you want to hear?
Joey, I need you to stop shitting your pants during our shows.
I'm just trying to give the audience what they want.
You can't live your life according to the internet comments section.
You're right. Matt?
Yeah, Joey?
I didn't really shit my pants. I was only pretending. I'm sorry I lied to everyone.
Okay. There's only like 5 people watching. And I think everybody already knew you didn't really shit your pants.
But Olive Garden does make me have to shit immediately.
Oh, me too, Joey. Me too. In fact, I had Olive Garden tonight before the show.
Really?
Uh-huh. That's why I'm so sweaty.
Oh, no.
What?
Oh, Matt, did you just shit your pants?
What? What? Me? No. I did not shit my pants.
Are you sitting in shit pants right now?
I don't have air conditioning. So I'm so sweaty and I'm not wearing pants.
Don't you judge us. Let ye who hath not gone to Olive Garden and shit their pants cast the first stone.
Yeah, I dare you to take their tour of Italy and come out of it unscathed. Cannot be done.
Olive Garden, when you're here, your family.
Olive Garden is a reluctant sponsor of the All Right News half-hour report. In fact, they've just agreed to sponsor the All Right News Dr. Michael Armato, When You're Here, Your Family, Olive Garden Authentic Italian Cuisine Scholarship. Congratulations to the first winner of this year's award. Somebody.
It's beautiful. Speaking of your body being destroyed, the coronavirus pandemic continues to spread around the country.
States that reopened early, like Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas, Arizona, and Texas, have seen huge spikes in cases and hospitalizations.
While the rest of the world faces declining cases, the U.S. caseload continues to rise, eclipsing 50,000 cases yesterday alone, the largest single-day case total since the pandemic began.
Trump brushed aside the number during a press conference today, saying of the virus, "It's got a life, and we're putting out that life because it's a bad life." That's what we're talking about.
Oh, God. Remember, one of Trump's key campaign strategies is to suggest Joe Biden cannot speak in coherent sentences.
The European Union did not brush off the U.S.'s exploding case numbers, issuing a travel ban yesterday on the U.S., refusing to admit Americans due to our disastrous management of the virus. For instance, Arizona, with a population of 7 million people, has more new cases each day than the entirety of the European Union, which has a population of almost 450 million people.
Looks like Trump finally got his travel ban. Just turns out it was banning us.
He got his wall, too. It just turned out to be a fence around the White House to keep him safe from the big, bad, peaceful protesters.
USA! 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 Nevertheless, in the true independent spirit In the true independent spirit of America, millions of Americans refuse to wear masks, social distance, or acknowledge the pandemic is still ravaging the country.
In Texas, people have organized Bar Lives Matter to protest the governor closing bars after the state saw record numbers of cases for several days in a row.
People are fucking dumb.
The order includes canceling all concerts at bars and similar venues, except oddly enough for one. Vanilla Ice's concert tomorrow at the Emerald Point Bar and Grill in Austin, which is technically a restaurant because it gets 51% of its revenue from food, is still happening.
Vanilla Ice, aka Dallas native Rob Van Winkle, is hearkening back to the 90s with the concert, saying on Instagram, "I can't wait to get back to this. The 90s were the best. We didn't have coronavirus or cell phones or computers. It was the last of the great decades."
How could anyone argue with that? We live in the dumbest time. Oh, breaking news, this just in. Vanilla Ice apparently just canceled his concert because he didn't realize the numbers were so high. He put out a message and he closed it with some comfort, saying, quote, "Happy 4th of July and happy, hopefully by New Year's, this corona crap will have a cure."
So you could say, if there was a problem, yo, I solved it.
Ice, ice, baby. While Vanilla Ice is taking responsible action, the Vice President of the United States was also in Texas ignoring the problem. Pence, who is the head of the coronavirus task force, was in Dallas earlier in the week to deliver a speech, heap praise on Trump, and lie about the coronavirus at the First Baptist Church in Dallas.
As Texas saw a massive spike in cases, or what Mr. Ice called crazy numbers,
Our lives matter.
Pence took to the stage to address over 2,000 people at the indoor Celebrate Freedom rally.
A choir of over 100 people sang throughout the event.
As a reminder, church choirs have been the epicenter for several outbreaks across the nation. Similarly, large indoor gatherings are highly discouraged.
In fact, the very church where Pence spoke had a COVID-19 outbreak in mid-June, with several members of the choir and orchestra testing positive, including the church's music director. One infectious disease expert from Johns Hopkins called the situation, quote, appalling.
To be fair, some of the people in the church wore a mask, and so did Mike Pence. Sort of.
So just to be clear, Vanilla Ice is acting more in the public interest than the Vice President of the United States. Everything's going to be fine.
Perhaps they should stop, collaborate, and listen.
Pence did seem to take a very small step on Wednesday, over 7 months after U.S. officials first learned of the coronavirus. Mike Pence did say that everyone should wear a mask. Yeah, the head of the coronavirus task force said on July 1st that everyone should wear a mask.
Trump, who has long ridiculed anyone wearing a mask and refuses to wear one in public because he doesn't want to look stupid or weak, on Wednesday sort of reversed course, but not really, saying he wore a mask when forced to and kind of liked it because it made him feel like the Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger, in case you aren't familiar, wears a black mask over his eyes that he never takes off. You know, this is pretty on brand for Trump. He only cares about how the mask makes him look, and he still does it wrong. He also tweeted out yesterday, "The Lone Warrior." So, you know, he's pretty stupid and weak.
I wonder why we've had such a bad outbreak.
Who knows?
Jeez. Dr. Anthony Fauci warned during the congressional hearing on Tuesday before Pence's game-changing mask-wearing revelation on Wednesday that the U.S. could soon see 100,000 cases per day, and reiterated that there's no doubt that wearing masks protects you.
Resident idiot Rand Paul pushed back during the hearing, saying, quote, "We shouldn't presume that a group of experts knows what's best."
Yep, and in the midst,
we messed up our school. In the midst of this pandemic, that's hit the U.S. hard precisely because we refuse to listen to experts. Mr. Swim in the Senate pool while positive with COVID questioned if we should trust experts or trust the guy who had to have his press secretary assure us he's not only capable of reading, but even does it from time to time.
I'm trusting the reality TV host with an astonishing record of failure and his dipshit son-in-law, Jared, because I'm not living in fear. Freedom.
Speaking of Trump's astonishing record of failure, a 60 Minutes investigation has found that federal officials knew many COVID-19 antibody test kits had flaws, but they still allowed them to enter the U.S. market anyway. But remember, like Trump said,
anybody that needs a test can get a test. They're there. They have tests, and the tests are beautiful.
The 3-month investigation again highlights the Trump administration's catastrophic failure in responding to the coronavirus. I mean, here we are, 5 months later, and we still don't have enough tests, enough PPE, or contact tracing. 125,000 people are dead. We had over 50,000 new cases yesterday, and we're worried about reopening supercuts.
They do give a supercut. Meanwhile, Karens and Chads and Logans across the country are citing breathing problems and refusing to wear masks, lest they be deprived of breathing in unfiltered freedom.
And breathing out the coronavirus. Hey, remember when Trump said in late February, you have 15 people, and the 15 within a couple of days, it's going to be down to 0. That's a pretty good job we've done.
It's going to disappear one day. It's like a miracle. It will disappear.
It's going to go away. United States, because of what I did and what the administration did with China, we have 32 deaths at this point. When you look at the other countries, kind of numbers you're seeing coming out of the other countries, it's pretty amazing when you think of it.
When we get into April, in the warmer weather, that has a very negative effect on that and that type of virus.
Coronavirus numbers are looking much better, going down almost everywhere. Cases are coming way down.
America has developed a testing capacity unmatched and unrivaled anywhere in the world, and it's not even close.
This kind of pandemic was something nobody thought could happen. Nobody would ever have thought a thing like this could have happened.
I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injecting inside and or almost a cleaning? It would be interesting to check that.
The coronavirus is going to go away without a vaccine, and we're not going to see it again, hopefully, after a period of time.
It's just like the flu.
Okay, I can't do this anymore. It's too depressing. It's too hot. I don't know. My Trump just sounds like an angry child. Just fuck him forever.
Just joking. Oh, man. Fuck that guy. Apparently, there's a new swine flu developing in China that could produce a second pandemic on top of the current pandemic.
2020.
50 million Americans are unemployed, but the Trump administration doesn't think Americans need any help beyond reopening bowling alleys.
Hey, I love bowling alleys. Oh, shit on bowling alleys. Honestly, Trump's strategy isn't even as coherent as reopen bowling alleys. Go ahead. Tell me in 2 sentences what this administration's strategy is for combating the pandemic and restarting the economy.
White power?
Okay, yeah, all right. I guess that is their strategy for pretty much everything.
Hey, remember when Trump tear-gassed peaceful protesters for a photo op of him holding a Bible upside down? And then, like, everybody forgot because we live in a dystopic hellscape led by the stupidest motherfucker ever?
I do remember that. Hey, do you remember when we found out Trump asked China for help in the upcoming election? You know, just like he did with Ukraine, but worse? And everybody was like, oh, well, what are you going to do?
Oh, I do remember that. Hey, remember when 2 days ago, Dr. Fauci was like, you guys, Trump really fucked this up and a whole bunch of people are needlessly dying because of it. Why won't any of you assholes wear a mask?
I do remember that. Hey, remember when Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton wrote an op-ed in the New York Times calling for the military to be used against U.S. citizens? And Republicans were like, I guess, yeah, fascism for everybody.
Oh, speaking of Tom Cotton sucking, the House voted last week to approve statehood for D.C., which would make it the 51st U.S. state.
As we get set to celebrate the Declaration of Independence, conservatives are outraged that 700,000 residents of D.C. want representation, with Senator Tom Fascist Cotton essentially arguing that D.C. is too black to be a state. Seriously.
To be fair, he argued it wasn't white enough, not that it was too black. He just likes good American white jobs like mining and logging. He also said you couldn't trust black leaders to keep you safe from black criminals.
Thank you for clarifying my mistake. Montana Senator Steve Daines joined in the racism on Tuesday, urging lawmakers to, quote, go out to where the real people are at across the country and ask them what they think.
In Trump's America, real people means white people who voted for him.
Literally, the only argument being made by conservatives against D.C. statehood is that D.C. would elect Democrats, and that's bad, so they can't be a state.
Luckily, the media has not pushed back against that absurd narrative at all. Happy Independence Day.
Good thing the media has such a liberal bias.
Oh, this just in. The New York Times has a bombshell on Hillary's emails. Apparently, she hit reply all on more than one occasion. More to come. Front page news. More over Trump ignoring Russians paying to kill U.S. soldiers. More over catastrophic coronavirus failures. It's email time.
But her emails. But her emails. Lock her up. Lock her up.
All right. The Supreme Court has been dropping rulings left and right, and many conservatives are furious with Chief Justice John Roberts, who has sided with the court's 4 liberal justices on several high-profile cases.
He joined the rebels to rule that federal anti-discrimination law protects gay, bisexual, and transgender workers. I mean, how is this controversial? No. Then he stopped the president from ending the Dreamers program, which protects undocumented immigrants brought to this country as children.
He then sided with the liberals again to strike down a Louisiana abortion law meant to restrict access to abortions.
Can we just agree that the phrase Louisiana abortion law is just a terrifying combination of words? I mean, how many worse three-word combinations could there be?
Olive Garden coupon, okay. Donald Trump Jr.,
oh, yeah.
Justice Brett Kavanaugh.
Yeah, okay, well played.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a fun fact. We still don't know how Brett Kavanaugh had $92,000 in country club fees, $200,000 in credit card debt, or his $1.2 million mortgage all mysteriously paid off right before his confirmation. Weird.
Conservatives feel betrayed by Roberts and have let him hear about their anger.
That's that silent majority. Hey, liberals, don't get too comfortable, because John Roberts, super conservative, far to the right, John Roberts is the court's swing vote now. And he isn't even really a swing vote. The conservative movement's just been like so intellectually hollowed out that these cases are just standing on incredibly shaky legs. So Roberts really just sees himself as defending the integrity of the law more than anything else. You better believe he doesn't want to defend abortion rights.
In other news that makes conservatives mad, Mississippi has voted to remove the Confederate flag embedded in their state's flag, part of a growing movement to remove the flag from public spaces.
That's Mississippi, the same Mississippi that didn't ratify the 13th Amendment until 2013. Mississippi, Alabama's saving grace.
USA, USA, USA.
It's America's birthday this week.
Yeah, and to celebrate, Disney Plus is streaming a recorded version of Lin-Manuel Miranda's smash hit musical Hamilton tomorrow. I know I'll be watching it and eating 1,776 hot dogs. Here with a preview and a review of the hit musical is the All Right News' favorite baby boomer, Mary Beth Stevenson.
Oh, thank you, Chewy. It's a pleasure to be here. We're both very sweaty.
Yeah, well, it's July and I'm in a suit. So, Mary Beth, I take it you're a Hamilton fan?
Well, I prefer $20 bills, but yes. That was a little joke for you, Chewy.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
I know you like to do the make-em-ups.
Yeah, I do.
I did a make-em-up for you.
Yeah,
I
thank you.
like Andrew Jackson better. He wasn't so worried about being all PC. He wouldn't have to live in fear of the cancel culture woke police coming to shut him down. He could be racist in peace.
So the musical.
Well, in case you're poor and you haven't seen the show, there's all kinds of singing and dancing. Now they speak so fast, I couldn't keep up with it all. Something, 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 my shooting black on black crime. Something, 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 the room where everything's occurring. Something, something, so lucky to be living, is how the songs go. Now, are you sitting down, Dewey? 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 Are you sitting down?
I'm sitting.
Dewey, what about your heart?
I'm sitting. I'm not going to have a heart attack in the middle of the show.
You got a hot dog, Dewey.
I do, but I won't have a heart attack right now.
You're going to have a heart attack because what I'm about to tell you is going to surprise you more than Joe Biden sneaking up behind you at a Delaware country club in 1974 and whispering in your ear, Mary Beth Stevenson, you lying, no good, dog-faced pony soldier. Are you sitting, Dewey?
I've been sitting the entire time.
You're so lazy.
Yeah.
You're just sitting and protesting. I tell you what I'd like to defund, your allowances. Another Mary Beth Stevenson make 'em up.
Good one.
Oh, it was a good one. Plenty of 70-year-old women watching are laughing at that show. Now, in my day, we didn't have the protesting. Dr. King was always very peaceful, and everyone treated him with respect. Now, it's like I told my one black friend on Facebook. This is all very hard on me. If only Dr. King were here to tell these protesters about peace.
Dr. King was arrested many, many times, was harassed by the FBI, and, he was assassinated. And it has been well documented that the police themselves are often the ones inciting violence.
Well, I don't know about all that. That's your opinion of what's clearly shown on all of the videos of police inciting violence. But what I do know is that Linda Miranda Duell,
Lin-Manuel Miranda,
okay, however you pronounce it, is Puerto Rican. Huh? No, I've never read a history book in my life, but you are erasing history.
The musical isn't about Hamilton being Puerto Rican. Hamilton was an immigrant. It reflects 21st century America, a diverse country built by immigrants. It's about letting every American see themselves reflected in the story of America.
Well, I don't know about all that. But what I do know is that when my grandmother came here from Ireland, she did it the right way. She walked right up to Ellis Island, told them her name, and then entered the country.
That's it?
That's it. The right way. Now, all these immigrants, they want their special treatments. They want it to be easy. They just want to walk right in. I'm all for immigration, but they need to do it the right way, Dewey. Like my grandmother, who speaks English, by the way.
Didn't she speak English in Ireland? No, don't answer that. So the musical.
I don't know about all that, but I do know I had trouble following. Like I said, you know who doesn't have trouble following a little too close? Joe Biden.
Yeah.
One time when I was in a bowling alley before they closed them, Joe Biden walked up behind me. He whispered in my ear, Mary Beth Stevenson, you no good dog, lying-faced dog pony soldier. Mm-hmm. And it's true, I am a no good lying dog-faced pony soldier. Now I can see your face, Dewey. I know the musical. Okay, so what I gather is that a bunch of angry young people overthrow an oppressive system of government, even resorting to violence. They radically reshape the existing power structures because they want a government that reflects their values and one that takes their interests into account. If only the young people nowadays would take a cue from them.
Mary Beth Stevenson, everybody. Always a treat, always a pleasure, and always a little too racist.
Hey, speaking of lying dog-faced pony soldiers, where has Joe Biden been?
Oh, I don't know, and I don't care.
Even though it's summer, there's still plenty of Albright news to report. Well, we're starting classes 2 weeks early. So we're doing the 7-week intensive semesters.
That's not fair.
Some classes are going to be in person, maybe. Some are going to be online. Some are going to be kind of a mix. And nobody's happy. So, yeah. So that's the Albright news.
I graduated.
Yeah. How? Right? How?
No one knows. No, I'm just as baffled.
And Albright's not alone here. Schools across the country, from preschool to college, are grappling with plans to reopen in the fall amidst the ever-changing coronavirus pandemic.
Parents across the country refuse to wear masks to help make the situation better. You want your kids to go to school? Put on a damn mask.
That's a good point. In other Albright news, Pizza
Hut. Nobody outdoes the Hut. Not you, not me, nobody. Pizza Hut.
It's so hot.
Just take a breather.
Christ.
I also assume there's still no library.
If the campus is closed and no students can read, is the library technically closed?
Yes.
Moving on. In other news, Jeffrey Epstein's accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, I have no idea if that's how you say her name, was arrested today for allegedly assisting, facilitating, and contributing to Epstein's abuse of minor girls by, among other things, helping Epstein to recruit, groom, and ultimately abuse victims who were as young as 14.
Now, fuck that guy and fuck this lady.
In other news, Sally Hemings was also 14 when Thomas Jefferson began his sexual relationship with her. Speaking of creeps, Harvey Weinstein,
that guy,
he's reached a tentative settlement with the survivors of his sexual misconduct, nearing almost $19 million.
While the 25 women who have sued Donald Trump
that guy
for sexual misconduct have received nothing more than a $1,200 stimulus check. But hey, who would have guessed that the guy who would call these allegations fabricated and politically motivated and have evidence involving him with incidents involving Jeffrey Epstein and children and swore in a rapist into the Supreme Court and has yet to face any fucking repercussions would have to pay any money to the survivors of his heinous actions?
Actually, that sounds pretty much like America.
Speaking of payments that are being made now that should have happened before someone told someone else that they had to do it, Netflix is investing $100 million in Black-owned banks to help minimize the wealth gap.
Netflix, not a sponsor, could be, has also recently donated $120 million to historically Black colleges and universities.
That's a start.
Not to be outdone, Hulu has removed an episode of The Golden Girls in which they wear mud masks.
We did it, everyone. We solved racism.
USA. And now it's time for everybody's favorite segment, Jokes by My Kids. What a smooth transition there.
Oh, I can't wait.
Okay, Nils and May, they combined on a joke this week.
Alrighty.
So what is Joey's favorite amusement park?
Broad Street.
Hershey's Hot Dog World.
I see, like Hershey's Chocolate World, but with hot dogs.
Yeah, sounds amazing. Okay, Henrik's joke. Here we go. What does Joey do when his dog gets too hot?
I give her water.
He puts it between two buns and bites it.
You guys really went in with all the hot dogs.
Yeah, we did. We did. It's the 4th of July, almost. People usually eat hot dogs on the 4th. Hey, quick public service announcement. Please don't go to a giant 4th of July party. If you want your kids to go to school in August, no parties now and wear your masks.
Go Birds.
The 4th of July coming up in 2 days. Many people will be celebrating with fireworks, barbecues, and other Independence Day traditions. Here to talk about some of his favorite traditions for the holiday is our favorite California-based founding father, Benjamin Franklin.
The hair keeps getting longer. Yo, yo, yo! What is up, everybody? It's your boy, Benjamin Franklin, a.k.a. Filthy Frankie, a.k.a. Frank You Come Again, a.k.a. there's so much hair in my mouth.
Really accurate wig. Yeah.
a.k.a. Franklin Manuel Miranda, a.k.a. Frankenstein of beer, a.k.a. Benny Goodman, great guy, greatest lover, a.k.a. just around the river, bend that ass over, a.k.a. Senor Bendejo. So, in 2 days, It will be my third favorite holiday of all time.
The third favorite.
Yes, Matthew, I know. It might be hard to believe that the $100 founding father who will refuse to believe that he's your father could possibly love a holiday more than Independence Day. But the holidays I got above it at number 2 is Christmas, because there's nothing like a turkey roasting on a lightning rod, a kiss or several under the mistletoe, and Philly Santa Claus.
I know I'm going to regret this, but Philly Santa Claus?
Oh yeah, Bryce. Philly Santa Claus. He's just like normal Santa Claus, except he flies in a beat up Toyota Camry led by 9 raccoons, and the Rudolph looking motherfucker has a red nose the reason why it's red is because he got his head caught in a Natty Light 6-pack ring. Plus, instead of leaving milk and cookies out for him, you leave a half-eaten cheesesteak, and he leaves you an IOU that reads, "I got you next year, young bull."
Why do I keep doing this to myself?
Look, you ask and you shall receive, Matthew. But that's not the point, all right? I'm here to tell you about my favorite Independence Day traditions. And because I love the 4th of July more than I love tasty cake powdered sugar donuts, I figured I'd do something a little different for yous today. So I present yous with the greatest list to come to Philly since the 2008 Phillies championship roster, all right? Benjamin Franklin's top 10 Philly-style Independence Day traditions, all right? So number 10, a lot of people love going to the Wawa Welcome America concert on my parkway, the Benjamin Franklin Parkway, to hear some free live music. Now, with all this COVID shit going on, the concert is going to be online with Jason Derulo headlining that joint. Now, if you ain't down to watch that bullshit and miss going to live concerts, come down to the Wells Fargo parking lot where I'll be putting on my 2nd annual Ben White and Blue concert, where me, my buddy Paulie from South Philly, and Kevin Hart's dental hygienist sing Philly classics such as the Rocky theme song, Fly Eagles Fly, and Pink's What About Us in our band, sponsored by Bud Light.
Oh, your band has a Bud Light as a sponsor? Wow.
Oh, no, Matthew. Our band's name is sponsored by Bud Light. We have received a cease and desist letter by Bud Light to stop using their brand's name. But how I see it is that it draws in a lot of the Villanova and Temple kids with their newly formed alcohol problems. So it's good for business, which leads me to traditions 9 through 6. Make sure you stop by the merch table to buy some Benjamin Franklin, sponsored by Bud Light, sponsored by Chickies and Pete's muscle shirts, bottle opening sunglasses, pre-used beach towels, and American flags.
Wait, to back up for a second here. Well, 1, pre-used beach towels. 2, you're sponsored by Chickie and Pete's?
I think you should know by now that the answer is no. We just sell half-eaten crab fries and day-old beer cheese as a way to say that Chickies and Pete sponsors us, which is also my 5th favorite tradition. Now, number 4 and 3 go hand in hand, and that's taking all the money that I scam from these drunk college kids and gambling it all on the horses at Parks Casino. But since the horse tracks aren't open because, the virus, I'll skip to the 3rd favorite tradition I'll skip the 3rd one and go to the 2nd one, which is online poker. And before you say anything, Matthew, online poker is indeed a 4th of July tradition, because you can't tell me that there's something more American than scamming kids out of $137.82 and losing it all by thinking that there's no way that an online dealer is going to get a full house 3 times in a row. But I digress.
No, that sounds very patriotic. So what's number 1 on Benjamin Franklin's 4th of July tradition list?
Oh, that's easy. Watching the 1996 American classic Independence Day. And if my VHS player acts up again while I'm watching it, I'll just watch the version where Trump plays Bill Pullman's character. Yeah, it's all funny, and it's got Ted Cruz and shit. Any questions about my holiday traditions, Matthew?
Yeah, I have one. I hesitate to ask. You said Independence Day is your 3rd favorite holiday. Then you said Christmas was your 2nd favorite holiday, but you still haven't told us what your 1st favorite holiday is.
Oh, how could I forget? It's only the greatest holiday to ever exist in the history of holidays. The anniversary of the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, February 4th, baby. Go Birds, USA!
Benjamin Franklin, everybody, with the most accurate wig in the history of wigs. Be sure to check your beach towels, everybody, in case you bought one of his pre-used ones, okay? You don't want to be using there's some things you could buy pre-used, okay? Beach towels is not one of them.
I haven't bought one yet.
Yeah, no, you've got one. This year's 4th of July will certainly be unique, with many traditions canceled, including America's favorite pastime so far, baseball.
Baseball is set to start soon, however, with a shortened 60-game season on July 23rd.
The NBA is also set to return with its first game on July 30th.
But while most sports are either postponed or canceled due to COVID-19, one of the most important sporting events will be happening on Independence Day.
Is that you losing at cornhole to a small child?
No. And for your information, I plan to win at Can Jam to make up for that loss. And the one I'm talking about is the Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest.
Oh, no. I see where this is going.
Oh, yeah. Joey Loves Hot Dogs is challenging you, Matt Fotis, to the first annual All Right News half-hour report hot dog eating contest. Oh, hot dog.
No, that doesn't count. That one doesn't count. What makes you think you can beat me? My hot dogs are in hamburger buns because we couldn't go to the store today because our toilet broke. First, I'm going to eat mine out of hamburger buns.
Okay, well, first of all, the Chicago dog is not all it's cracked up to be. Sorry, not sorry. Second, this year, Joey Chestnut is going for the record-breaking 13th win in the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest, and we have the same name, so there's that. And also, number 3, I'm Joey Loves Hot Dogs.
That's true. That is true.
So are you up for the challenge? We got 2 minutes to eat as many hot dogs as you can and as many hot dogs as I can and make sure I don't throw up.
All right. Well, yeah, I don't see any issues with this. I bet
I feel like I got to take off my jacket.
Fall off a cliff here. All right. We ready? We ready?
No, I'm too sweaty. I got to take off my jacket.
Take off your jacket.
This is a rigorous contest. Okay. 3, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
I got a little hot dog song playing. What kind of hot dogs do you have?
It's not full.
Been 2 minutes yet?
I got you.
Whoa. You got 2 at once, so that's okay. I can see.
Are you keeping count?
I ate one. I don't want to.
No, has it been 2 minutes? I don't care how many.
It's been long enough. Joey wins, everybody. Joey really does love hot dogs.
To be fair, I think we tied because I only ate like one full one.
How did you only eat one? You had like 9 in your hands. All right. Well,
There's so many hot dogs.
that again.
Oh.
Let's get to tonight's final segment before Joey fits his pants. Point counterpoint. We're going to debate between America's 2 most treasured documents while simultaneously trying not to vomit.
KFC's secret recipe and Coke's secret recipe. Go.
I was thinking more of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution.
Whatever. That's dumb. But if that's what you want to do, all right, I guess I'll take the Declaration of Independence since it's shorter. Point. Without the Declaration, there would be no America.
Counterpoint. As Pete Smith told us earlier, Congress declared independence without the Declaration, and there literally would be no America without the Constitution, which reformed the Articles of Confederation and held the young nation together.
Point. The Declaration gives our country a purpose, defines our goals, and tells us who we are.
Counterpoint. It doesn't live up to any of those goals and gives us no actual rights. Constitution, it's got the Bill of Rights.
Point. It takes 13 amendments before the Constitution outlaws slavery and never mentions women.
Okay, counterpoint. Counterpoint. The Declaration was written by a man who owned over 200 slaves, but still wrote, all men are created equal.
Point. We the people means the same damn thing. A bunch of rich white dudes.
By counterpoint, the Constitution gives us the ability to change and adapt. Case in point, all the amendments.
Point. And what are they adapting to? They're trying to live up to the ideals of the Declaration. Counterpoint, we have to listen to gun nuts because of the Second Amendment.
Okay, counterpoint, we have to listen to the don't steal my liberty nuts because of the Declaration.
Point, people have done a lot of bad shit in defense of the Constitution.
Counterpoint, people have done a lot of bad shit in defense of the Declaration.
Point, we all know the greatest American document is the 4 for $4 menu at Wendy's.
Counterpoint, they took the quarter-pound double stack off the menu at my Wendy's, and now I'll never forgive them.
Point, the biggie bag is a pretty good deal.
Counterpoint, kids always eat free at Shoney's.
Well, I think that settles it.
Flawed but foundational documents all. What? I think I hear, speaking of flawed, I think I hear MAGA boy.
Oh, I gotta reach over hot dogs.
Time travel, time travel.
Time travel. That's right. All men are created equal.
That's your takeaway, MAGA boy?
Yep, and that you hate America.
MAGA boy, I don't.
It's man, I'm a man. I go poop poop all by myself. Do the wipes too. 1, 2, 3. Make sure the bottom's all clean.
Okay, well, I suppose it's that time.
Oh, finally. God, this show is so freaking boring. News this, facts that, stupid joke that. Boring.
Goodbye, MAGA boy. The old folks' home is calling me.
Well, don't catch Rona on the way down. And there he goes. All righty. Take that, liberal propaganda. USA, USA,
Thanks for watching the All Right News half-hour report Independence Special with Matt Voted and Joey Love. USA, USA, USA.